Howdy howdy, this is Crafty Grinding back again with an arena cutoff video for Marvel Contest of Champions. Today I'm going to cover round 1 results for the Hulkbuster and Hulk arenas, then jump into some round 2 predictions. So first, the results for round 1. So kind of as expected, but still pretty surprising. Hulkbuster, 5-star Hulkbuster went for almost 20 million, 19.8 million. This is very similar to past old champs that have been in the game for a while, like Winter Soldier. So this is kind of like the trends would tell us, but a lot of people, including myself, are like, really, 20 million? But it looks like people probably just wanted to go after the shards, etc. So, yep, Hulkbuster went for 20 million. With that top 10% tier coming in at top 10% shard tier, that is, coming in at 10.5 million. Then jumping over to the 4-star Hulkbuster, yeah, he kind of kept with the average as well, again, going to 5.1 million, with the top 10% coming in at 3.8 million. Then jumping over to the 4-star Hulk Basic, he came in at right around that Thor number, around 2.1 million with 11 to 25%, 1.4 million for the shard tier. And lastly, when it comes to the top 10% for the 3-star feature arena, no one knows. Yeah, that's right. If you go check out the MCOC Truckos Facebook fan page, you'll see there's no update for the 3-star there. And same thing from the Reddit survey results. So I guess people just really didn't care to report their 3-star results. We're guessing, specifically I'm thinking those numbers came in right around what they typically do, but we can't say for sure, so I just kind of put some average in there. Would love to hear from you, the community, as you're watching this, what you actually, if anybody went after the 3-star version of Hulkbuster, what you actually put up. It'd be interesting to see that. So throw that on down in the comment section, and maybe we'll produce our own survey of results. But anyway, these were the results for round 1 of the Hulkbuster and Hulk arenas. Compared to my predictions, not too bad actually. So you can see, especially when you look at the 5-star and 4-star Hulkbuster, again, despite these numbers seeming quite high for a meme-worthy champ like Hulkbuster, they were kind of stuck right on within that 10%, almost like 2% range. These numbers are really close, and again, these are trends that we've been seeing for a while now since the 5-star feature arena has been added. So, they, if anything, the community is pretty consistent even with these old champs. Now, here's the one that I was a little off, just a shade above 10%, based off, and maybe I let my own personal bias go off on this one just because I wanted to dupe my Hulk, and I've been going after him for a while. But there were others in the community. I just didn't let my own personal bias. I think I did have that weigh in a bit, but did hear from others in the community that also said, hey, I want to dupe my Hulk, and all that kind of stuff. So, and that was then all the survey results that I got as part of the preview video that I sent out. So, considering that, but it's not like I went way overboard. It was just a little bit above, a couple 100,000 higher than Thor, and so, but that did take me out of the 10% range, which was right around 2.3 million. So yeah, unfortunately this wasn't the best of predictions because it was a couple 100,000 off. But hey, if you did follow this prediction, worst case scenario, you did get the champ, and you also got more arena chips. Now, when it comes to my actual 3-star feature arena, we can just assume that was right. I mean, but we'll never really know, right? So kind of a question mark if that was in there or not, but who knows? Again, if you did some grinding for the 3-star feature arena, and again, these results for the veterans bracket, and you ended up getting Hulkbuster or real close, would love to hear what your results were. Now, thinking forward to the round 2 predictions, so let's take a look at some of the trends. First, with the 5-star feature arena for similar arenas, old champs kind of thing. You can see with between Storm, Gambit, Nebula, and Winter Soldier, for the most part, round 2 is a tad bit higher than round 1. And that's been in most cases, except most recently Winter Soldier. It went down actually. He was 21 million, 21.6 in the first round, went down to 20.8. But so that's very similar numbers, almost very much within the same ballpark kind of thing. The bad news is if you look at that top 10% orange line, that the shard line, you'll see that number has been slowly and steadily going higher and higher. So you probably got a lot of folks doing some shard hunting with these old champs, and they're constantly pushing those numbers a little bit higher for that cutoff. Now, when we jump to the 4-star feature Hulkbuster, you can see for the most part, round 1 is a little bit lower than round 2. You got a pretty decent jump between each round, and that's been consistent across the last 4 of these old champs in the 4-star feature arena. And the good news is there hasn't been much of an increase for the top 10% shard tier, but so it's kind of stabilized a bit right around 4 million. Now, jumping over to the 4-star basic or recent past results that are similar for sure. You look at Crossbones, Nightcrawler, and Thor. You can see for the most part they're pretty much the same between round 1 and round 2. Maybe a marginal small, spike, but nothing too big there. It's just a small increase between round 1 and round 2. The bigger increases and decreases are really in that 11 to 25% shard tier, with the second round typically being the highest, right around that last milestone at 1.5 million. And lastly, when we take a look at the 3-star feature result, you can see these are very consistent. The community sticks right above that last milestone reward, plus a couple thousand basically is what we're looking at, kind of thing. So considering all these trends, here are my thoughts for the round 2 predictions for the veterans bracket. Starting first with the 5-star feature Hulkbuster, I think we're looking at 20 million for the cutoff, with the top 10% cutoff at 11 million. For the 4-star feature Hulkbuster, I think we're looking at 5.3 million with a top 10% shard tier at 4 million. Then we jump over to the 4-star basic Hulk. I think 2.2, very similar to Thor. We saw a slight increase between round 1 and round 2. I think we'll see the same thing here, going from 2.1 to 2.2 million with the 11 to 25% shard tier at 1.5 million. And lastly, when it comes to the 3-star feature Hulkbuster, 660,000, right around there will be the cutoff, with 11 to 25% shard tier right around 450,000. Now these are my thoughts where I think the cutoff will be, give or take, 5 to 10%. So if you really want one of these champs, I always recommend going to the grind target, which gives us that little buffer just in case for whatever reason these trends don't hold, the community is not consistent as it has been over the last couple months, and there's some big spike. I really doubt it for Hulkbuster, but you never know. So if you really want Hulkbuster 5-star, go to 21 million. If you want the 4-star version, go to 5.5 million. The only place where we might get a little unexpected activity, and again, maybe this is my personal bias speaking again, but Hulk, maybe we'll see him go a little bit higher. So I recommend going to 2.4 million. Lastly, with the 3-star feature, who knows if anybody's actually grinding, because we couldn't get any survey results for him. So, but anyway, if you really want to get him, go to 700,000. And then you see the shard tiers in the second row. But anyway, these are my thoughts for the grind target. And again, these are my thoughts for the predictions for the veterans bracket. When it comes to the beginners and intermediate bracket, really hard to say exactly how these numbers are going to go, just because we don't have a ton of information anywhere. You saw we barely had any information for the 3-star feature this time for Hulkbuster, so that's always the case for all the different arenas for the earlier brackets. So what I like to do is just give you some rough ranges based off of some anecdotal information provided by the community from time to time, plus my own personal experience that's getting a little antiquated at this point, since we're talking August, September, since the last time I had my crafty grinding account in those earlier brackets. But anyway, when it comes to the 3-star feature, anywhere around 245, 250,000 should get a Hulkbuster. The 4-star basic for the beginners bracket should be right around 750,000, and for the 4-star feature Hulkbuster, you're probably looking around 1.2 million. For the intermediate bracket 3-star feature, probably looking at 525,000. 4-star basic Hulkbuster, right around 1 million, or not Hulkbuster, sorry, Hulk. You're looking at 1 million, and for the 4-star feature Hulkbuster, you're looking at about 1.2 million. And those numbers might actually swap between the basic and the feature. I mean, sometimes when you go into these earlier brackets, it's not just new players who may not realize yet that Hulkbuster is not as good as Hulk to spend their time grinding on Hulk. Could have people doing new accounts, that kind of thing, just, you know, different account for whatever reason. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're doing your grinding in these earlier brackets. But anyway, these are my thoughts again for the round 2 of the Hulkbuster and Hulk arenas. If you have any questions, throw it on down in the comment section. Be happy to talk about them there. And if you have any difference of opinion as well and would like to discuss it, throw it on in the comment section. Would be happy to talk it there. Other than that, hopefully you enjoyed this prediction video and you find it useful. If so, we really appreciate you clicking that thumbs up button. And if you like this and other videos I have on the channel, we'd really appreciate a subscribe. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.